Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial on this look right here, full face. Today I used the new Colourpop pressed pigment shadows, the new ones they came out with. I just got them in the mail yesterday and I was so excited to give them a go. So I'll let you know throughout the video what I thought of the ones that I have so far and whether or not I'm going to purchase some more. And yeah, so if you want to see how I did this, then just keep watching. Okay, so right now my hair's done, getting my cat ears on because my sister told me that I can't use old lady clips in my videos anymore. My brows are done obviously, but we're starting off with the eyes today because it was my first time using those Colourpop shadows and I didn't know how much fallout I was going to get. So using the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Eden, I'm just going to prime my eyes for the shadow. Now, I don't know how I feel about this. I picked it up in my Ulta haul, which hasn't gone up yet when this one will go up. It will go up a couple days after this one. But I've heard so many good things about it, and I don't know, I'm just struggling with it. As you can see here, I'm using my fingers to blend it out. I tried the brush method first because I saw so many people using brushes, and it looked horrible to me. It looked patchy, it made my lids look really dry, and I don't know. Maybe it's just my crusty old eyelids. I'm trying. I made it work for the video, but might as well just use concealer. I thought my concealer looked nicer. So now time to set that primer. I'm going to go into my Z palette and take the Makeup Geek shade Peach Smoothie on a Morphe E20, and I'm just going to set that primer. I do this almost every day, that same shade, same brush. And then we're going to go in after I'm all set. I'm going to take my transition shade, which is again Makeup Geek, and it's Crème Brulee, on a Morphe M504, and I'm just going to buff that into my crease, taking it out nice and far, big windshield wiper motions and also circular motions, make it nice and diffused. I think Crème Brulee is my favorite transition shade. I use it more than any other shade. I'm almost hitting pan on this one. I'll probably have to pick up a new one soon. And then going in with a Morphe E40, I believe. Not a Morphe, Sigma E40. I'm going to pick up the first Colourpop shade, which is the shade Dreamboat. And I'm going to put that more in my natural crease area, right below that Crème Brulee shade. Just to keep it nice and tight and add some more pigment to the crease. And I actually really liked how it looked, as you can tell there. There is a lot of fallout with these so far that I've noticed, so I'm glad that I did my eyes first, so that's something to keep in mind. So for the next shade, I'm going to pick up that Morphe E18, and this shade is called Going Steady. Now this shade is bright, as you could tell. It scared me a little bit. It is so pigmented. It's such a pretty color, though. It's unlike most of the colors that I usually stick to, and I'm glad I picked up the small brush for this because this is a color that you could easily go overboard with and does require a lot of blending just because it is so in your face just by itself. So I'm doing a halo eye again. I love halo eyes. I can't get away from them. I think they look better on girls with big eyes, but I still do them on my baby eyes. I just love it. And so after I have the color put down, I'm going to pick up my little Urban Decay brush that came in the Vice 3 palette and just blend it out. Make sure there's no harsh edges. And then going back into the Sigma E40 and not picking up any additional product, just using the leftover of Dreamboat. I'm just going to run that through the crease again to get rid of any harsh edges. And then again, going in with my Morphe M504 and some more Crème Brulee. I'm going to buff that out one more time. I'll probably do it again, actually. I don't know why I said that. I don't like harsh edges. I don't like things to look sloppy, so I do spend a lot of time blending, as I've mentioned before, but I think it's worth it. So now for the lid shade, I'm going to take that pretty color. It's Come and Get It by Colourpop, and I'm using a Morphe R42. This is a foiled shadow, so it looks different in different light. It looks kind of gold and then kind of purple. I really loved it. It was perfect for the colors that I chose for the crease. And it was very pigmented on its own, but I wanted to use some Fix Plus to make it a little bit more pigmented and get some more color payoff from it. And I usually go overboard when I use Fix Plus, and I just put it all over my lid even when I'm trying to do a halo. So I do go back in with the other shades such as Dreamboat and Going Steady, just to deepen out any pigmentation that I may have lost when I applied that lid shade, that center lid shade. Does anybody else, like, my eyes kind of burn a little bit after I use Fix Plus on my lid? I don't know. All right, so now taking the Morphe E13, I'm going to just blend out. I wanted something fluffy, but also something that could easily fit into that crease area. And I did pick up some more of Dreamboat and just ran it through, and it made it really soft, and it did what exactly I wanted it to do. I wanted to make my crease warm though, so I picked up a Morphe, I think it was an E27 with the Colourpop shade Paper Tiger. I love this shade. It's like a baby puke orangey. I know it sounds gross, but it's my favorite type of shade. And it fixed the look. It made the look exactly what I had pictured when I had ordered these shadows, what I wanted to create for a video. So now that I'm done with the eyeshadow, I'm going in with my favorite liquid liner. This is the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. It's like $6.99. I always buy it at Ulta. I think the other day I went and it was buy one, get one free for all face and eye products. So I picked up 2 more. I ran out of liner right now in the video. So I had a new box, thankfully. And I opened that box up and then my liner went on like a dream because I was struggling there for a minute. And once I get my wings perfect the way I like them, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to coat my lashes for falsies. And I'll be using the Rimmel Lash Accelerator in the shade Extreme Black. That mascara is my favorite mascara when I'm going to be wearing false eyelashes. It doesn't get too clumpy at all, no matter how much I put on. So it's a real safe way for me to go. For lashes, I'm going to be using my Koko lashes in the shade Demi G, style. My favorite lashes, I don't know, I think I need to buy more because those are the only one I have left. So now for the face, I'm going in with the Clinique Pep-Start just to put some moisturizer on. I struggle saying that so much. So after I pat that all over, I do let it sit for a minute. I let it sit for longer than I show here on the video just so it can sink into my skin. And after it sinks in enough, I'll go in with primer. And I'll dance around a little bit and make sure it's good. Or maybe my lips were chapped. Yeah, okay, so I put on some chapstick while I was waiting for it to... Oh, God, I embarrassed myself. Okay, so the primer, like I said, I went in with the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer. I love this thing. A little goes a long way, and I actually put way too much. I got carried away, I guess. But this primer, it makes my skin so smooth. It's such a perfect base for my foundation. And I feel like it'll last me forever as long as I don't overdo it the way I did right here. For my foundation, I'm using the Fiona Stiles Matte Finish Foundation. I think this is in the color 05, and I'm taking that on my beauty blender and just buffing that all over the face. Being careful not to mess with my eyeshadow, my liner, and my brows. So take your time with this. This is sped up for video purposes, but I go really slow and it takes me forever to put my foundation on. So once you get that all over, buffed in, nice and neat, although I do go in with a little bit more color on my cheeks, or on any areas really that I want some more coverage. Now it's time to conceal. I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. And I'm putting that underneath my eyes. I'll put it on my forehead, down the center of my nose, and my chin as well. Oh, a little bit around my nose too. Just to bring some light back to the face and cover up any areas where I get red, which is around the nose. I always get red, and it's like my biggest pet peeve. I hate when my foundation breaks up around there, but what can you do? So then going back in with my beauty blender, I'm going to buff all that out. I know I look weird right there, but a makeup artist told me once when I'm blending out anything on my chin to poke my tongue out so the foundation doesn't get stuck in your little indent right there. So I've been doing it ever since, and I guess she's right because it works for me. So once all my concealer is blended out, and that little hair is driving me nuts. It's all my broken hair from dyeing my hair all the time. I have a real problem. I always say I'm going to stop doing it, and then I get bored with it, and then, oh, look, bleach. Okay, so like I said, it's time to, after I get it all blended out, I'm going to set it. And for setting today, I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Banana Powder. And it's so cute. It's so tiny. I just bought it from Ulta not too long ago. And I love it. I love it. I've been using it over my RCMA powder lately. It's just the best. So using my damp beauty blender, I'm just going to be setting underneath my eyes, on my chin, and on my nose. I take that little flat sponge for the areas around my nose just to really get in there to make sure it stays. And then to set the rest of the face, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Stay Matte. It's translucent powder, but it's pressed. And using my giant Morphe, I think it's the E41. I'm going to put that all over my face. And while I'm doing that, I do just buff away any of the excess banana powder. I leave it under my eyes the longest. The rest of the face I do take off sooner. And using a Morphe E44, I put that Rimmel Stay Matte on my nose too. So now for contour, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour shades. I'm using Java and Havana mixed together on my little Benefit brush, which is my favorite contour brush in the whole wide world. And I'm putting that on my cheeks, my forehead, and my jawline. And I'll put it under my lip too, because someone told me it makes your lips look a little bit fuller. I don't know if I've really noticed anything, but I keep doing it, so oh well. Ugh, that hair. And then going in with another Anastasia Beverly Hills shade in the shade Nutmeg. I take a Morphe M551 and I just blend out those contour shades. They look really orange on camera, but in person they're not. They're more cool tone browns. I don't know. I actually don't mind the way it looks on camera, but whatever. And then taking a very tiny Wet n Wild brush. I don't know the name of this brush. I got it at Walgreens. Super cheap, but I love this brush for my nose contour. I take that shade Java and Havana again and just sculpt out my nose to make it look a little bit slimmer. Don't worry, I will not leave it like this. I will blend it out. And taking another Morphe brush. I forgot the name of this brush. I'm choking. I'm going to blend out that nose contour so it doesn't look so harsh. And then if you go a little bit overboard, I do recommend taking your beauty blender. Again, no extra product and just pressing on the nose. It helps spread out that contour shade if you over applied it. So now taking my Morphe, all my brushes are Morphe, so I get confused. The e.l.f. blush brush, which is my favorite brush to wipe away the under eye powder. I get rid of that under eye powder, and then I go in with my flat little sponge and bake the rest of the face. Up next, I will be doing the rest of the under eyes. I just wanted to let the face bake while I'm finishing up the eye look. So before that, though, I will be putting blush on. Today I'm using two Tarte blushes, the shades Seduce and Expose on a Morphe M405. I just got this brush the other day and I thought it was going to be too small, but it's really not. I really like it. It's been perfect. So now going back into that Going Steady Colourpop shade on a Morphe concealer brush. I don't know the name of it. It's wiped off. I'm going to take that, and then I'm also going to take the Makeup Geek shades Bitten and Mocha and just deepen out the underlash line. That's not a thing. And then taking my little crown brush, I'm going to take Paper Tiger and buff it all out, and then finish with some black liner. Now to get rid of all that baking powder, I'm going to use my Real Techniques powder brush and wipe it all away. Make sure you get rid of all that face powder because you don't want to be looking crazy all day. And nobody's going to tell you anything because people are haters these days. And then going back in with the Rimmel Lash Accelerator, I'm going to put mascara on my lower lashes. No, a little more. Yes. Okay. So now for highlighter. I'm going to take the, I don't know the name of this brush. It's a Morphe brush, obviously. I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Gleam highlighter palette and using the shades Crushed Pearl and Mimosa and highlighting my cheeks. I've been loving this palette so much lately. I heard it was for pale girls, but I don't care. I love it for my brown self. And then I'm also going to go back in with a Morphe E18 and use that as my inner corner highlight. For lipstick, I couldn't decide whether I wanted, oh, I forgot, I'm setting my brows now with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. I do this last because I always mess up my brows when I do eyeshadow looks first and then foundation last. But today I didn't, it worked out good. So now I set my face with the MAC Fix Plus. I drowned myself in it. Yep, more. That was like 10 sprays. It's a lot of money. Okay, so lipstick. I couldn't decide between Kat Von D Bow and Arrow or Anastasia Beverly Hills Sad Girl. I went with Sad Girl. I love Sad Girl. It's so pretty. Has little like sparkly reflex in it. And as you can see, the cat ears came off. Gotta fix my weave. Just kidding, it's not a weave. And yeah, that's the final look. I was really happy with the way it came now, and I was really happy with my Colourpop shadows so far. I can't wait to do a few more looks with them and let you guys know what I think in future tutorials. But I was really happy with this look, even though I didn't go anywhere. So thank you guys for watching. Can't wait to see you next time, and yeah.
Thought about this too much. What's there left to say? Throw your stones the river. Like me it drifts away. I would watch you stare. I would watch you stare.